Hello everyone, welcome back to Coding with Carl. This is the Zero to Android show, episode 21, I believe, which means we've spent 20 hours now building an Android application. And when I started this, I had no experience with Android or Java whatsoever. And I think we've done pretty well with the help of some of the people who watch this stream regularly. We've got to the point now where we have kind of like a basic little app. And with this app we can allot tasks and goals to half-an-hour time slots spaced out throughout the day. Now, in the last episode we had a number of small headaches, one of which was renaming this application and changing some of the what do we call it, the it's like an identifier that's used by Google to identify your app. After that, things got a little bit slow and a little bit choppy, and I managed to rectify that, so everything's working quite smoothly now, just by doing a cold boot and wiping all the data on this virtual device. So that's working okay now. Something else we did yesterday was, when we jump to a day, the day starts at 7 AM now, which is a more reasonable time for the day to start. You can still go backwards, of course. And if you're on today, it will jump to, or should jump to, the slot that I say that it doesn't appear to be, but it should jump to the hour that we're currently in, so it should be here at 17:30. You know what, I'm just going to restart this app to see if that is the case. There it is, look, 17:30. So one of the things we wanted to do yesterday but didn't really have time to was to show that to put some kind of visual indication of the current slot, or where we are in time right now. So of course, a couple of things have to happen for that. That will only happen on the Today planner, so that will just be in one of our instances of Recycler View in one of our pages, in the page view. And there are a number of ways to do this, and we could have chewed up a bunch of CPU by running a for loop to find it out for every single entry in that slot table. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is come up with, I want to add a notion of which timestamp a certain Recycler View actually represents. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pass through the, or at least store the first timestamp in any Recycler View as a member of that class, which means we can first of all just run a check every time we render it to say, is this today? And then inside that we can do the job of finding the particular list entry that needs to be highlighted. So let's jump in and do that. Where are we? Planner Rec Adapter. So this is the adapter for the Recycler View, and this is the color that I want to use. I'm just going to put a marker in here, MA, and actually make the marker in Vim. And yeah, we're going to handle this to do here, this one. So when we create this Recycler View, we have a view holder, we have a cursor and a slot list. And what I'd like to do is have a private, and that will be the timestamp that represents midnight on this day. So that will be the first TS, or I guess it's the midnight TS, even though it's in local time, and that's an integer. And then when we create this, we pass in, here's the, yeah, here we are. Here is the constructor, and the slot entries is the database cursor. And I feel like I should come up with better names for these, really. And this doesn't really read like, it doesn't read like a book, it reads like crap. So I'll start thinking about that in a second. But a good way, yeah, I think the best way to do this is this.midnightTS equals, and it's going to be the first entry in the slot list. So it'll be this.slotlist dot first get 0 dot timestamp. Yeah, so that now gives us a midnight TS, and we can use that to check to create a Boolean value that says, is this today? So let's jump back to our marker here, and we'll do a boolean is today equals, and then it's going to be something along the lines of don't want to call that on every time, but yeah, I'm going to do I? Because that could change. Yeah. I actually have a, yeah, we'll do boolean is today equals, and then I have focus lib dot top of day local equals midnight TS. And then, actually, what the hell am I doing with that? We can use that in here when we are choosing whether or not to give this a background. So we have, I think we'll do it after, because we actually do set the background color, this occupied background color here. So if we do this after we populate this list, the next thing we need to do, so we need to do something along the lines of if is today and current item dot timestamp equals, or could we use position? We could use position. Let's have a think. If we use the timestamp, if we use the current item timestamp, we would have to do a modulo operation. We're going to have to do that anyway, I think. So we do something along the lines of slot entries dot getIn equals current item dot timestamp. So we're looping through there anyway, right? Where's current item defined? There, right at the top. Yeah, so we actually can do this up here. So we can do boolean is current hour equals actually, I don't know if we even need is today if we do it that way, because we can do something like current item dot timestamp yeah, that might be better actually. So if we did something like int current item, what should we call this variable? We should call this variable midnight. We already have the midnight TS, don't we? And what we need is we need to know whether we're in the current hour. So what we actually need is the current hour timestamp. Int current hour timestamp. Do we want to calculate this? Yes, we do want to calculate this here. Current hour TS equals, and that's going to be system dot get time in millis. There we are. Get time in millis. And that's going to be divided by 1,000 because we need it in seconds, and that's a long operation, so we need to do this, and then once we've done that division, it will be small enough to fit into a 32-bit signed integer, so we can cast it as an integer. And then we have current hour TS. So what we need to know is, actually what we want is the slot TS, don't we, because it's in half-an-hour intervals, so we need to see if it falls into this half-an-hour interval. Maybe it would have been better to use position then. Does it matter? Does it really matter? I feel like this is the better way to do things. So if we are looking for whether it is the same slot, what we want to do is round it to the nearest half hour. Okay. Round it to the nearest half hour. How would I do that normally? I would normally do it well, if I was doing I'd like to think, and this may be horribly wrong because as you've seen on the stream before, I am terrible at math, but I'd like to think that it would be a modulo operation on something that looked like 30 times 60, which would be 60 seconds, 30 times 60. So if we did something like current half hour TS equals, and then we took this and we yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna put this here for now because I don't want to get too confused. If I do int time now equals, and I'm aware that I'm doing this on every loop or every time we bind a view holder, but time is ever changing and therefore we could go over a half hour boundary as we were rendering the list, which is a very, very small chance that we would, but it could result in 2 of the list items being highlighted. Okay, we'll worry about that at a later time. I'm getting carried away with myself now, so we've got time now, and where were we? Yeah, so I'm going to D this. Wow, D, please? No? D. And I'm going to do time now, modulo, and I think I'm going to do minus equals. No, I'm not. I'm going to do time now minus time now modulo 30 times 60. I'm gonna log that out because I am not 100% sure that that's going to work because I am not the best mathematician. Log.I and then current half hour TS is, and then put a space there for good measure so that I can copy it easily, and then add current half hour TS, and of course that needs a tag call. Okay, getting somewhere. So is current half hour, that is current item.timestamp. I think we have to do the same. No, it's not, is it? It's just equals current half hour TS, and that's current half hour. Now all this is going to break horribly if we ever decide to switch to 15-minute slots, or just do away with slots entirely and do it all based on start and end timestamps. And for the sake of simplicity and getting an alpha out there, I'm just going to stick with half hour time slots for now, and we can fix all this niggly little stuff later, I think. Let's have a look. So get rid of that for now, and we're going to run this code, I think. current half hour TS is this. I'm going to check that using epoch converter. .430, and that's 5:30 p.m. So yeah, that worked. Amazingly, that worked. Okay, so now we have a way of knowing whether we are in the current half hour. So DD, let's see if that works. So that's not a massive calculation, that, is it? It's small enough not to cause us any hassle when running it a lot. So where do I want to do this? We're going to render that if that is right, and we are going to, so that takes us through the, where do we set the background color? There. After this loop, I'm going to say if is current half hour, set the background color to what did we call it? MA. Let's go up a bit. We called it now color. A now color. Fingers crossed. There we go. But it's wrong, isn't it? Because it's done 16:30, and that's because we didn't take into account the UTC offset when we did this. So time now is that. Is it because of that? This is where my brain starts to hurt, everyone, so I apologize if I do anything stupid. Current half hour timestamp. So that's UTC. That gives us the time now in UTC. I think we need to apply the offset to it. Do we have TZ? No, we don't. So time zone TZ equals time zone, don't get default, and then we can do in offset. Well, actually, I think we can just do this operation here minus TZ dot get offset, and this again is divided by 1000, and we need to actually pass this a timestamp, don't we? Yeah, I'll do this after. I'll do this here, so I'll do time now minus equals TZ dot get offset time now, and that should handle the UTC stuff. Bunch all that code up together, it's fine. Okay, so run that. Still the same. Time now minus equals. Oh, of course, we've minused. That's milliseconds. Still the same. Why? In my local. I don't actually think we should have needed to have done this time zone stuff, to be honest. I think current item.timestamp equals current half hour TS. Does that need to be like that? Okay, if anyone has any ideas on the stream, I'm open to hear them. We get that, then that. We're doing if slot entries dot get count is more than nothing. Jump to the end of that if statement. If is current half hour. Log.I call. Current item. Timestamp. Run it. So for some reason it's jumping us to 1600 when it should be jumping us to 1700. I'm not sure why. Because that worked up until a minute ago, didn't it? And what does this timestamp give us? Copy. Paste. 5:30 PM GMT. So we set the of course. We're seeing the old recycler view thing again. So what we need to do, of course, is this. Always have an else statement. Always. P. Just asking for trouble with that one. Still jumping us to 1600 though. But at least we're not getting everything happening 60 million times. Why is it jumping us to 1600? I don't think that's a problem in here. I think it's a problem in planner fragment. Scroll to position, starting slot. This is the problem. Is it? This is the problem here. Log.I call TP target position. Let's see what the target position is. Give us the information, please. TP32. So we're off by quite a bit there. Position 32 would be 1600, which is exactly what it's doing. So why are we getting position 32? Well, time now is that, offset seconds is that. Is that right? Yep. Seconds elapsed is time now modulo, so that's today plus offset seconds. And the target position is seconds elapsed divided by hours times 2. This code seemed to work lovely yesterday, and I'm not sure why it's not working today. So, time now. Do we care about the offset here? offset seconds. So that's the UTC offset. Seconds elapsed. Do we care about the offset? Does it even matter? Yes, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. And for some reason, I feel like this should be minus. That makes no difference whatsoever. So what's happening with that? Confused, very confused. Do I need to cut that integer cast there is redundant, so let's get rid of that. So offset seconds. Seconds elapsed, it's time now. It's the remainder of that operation, which will give us how many seconds have elapsed in the day. And then minus. So how many seconds have elapsed since the UTC midnight? Right? But then we need to offset that. So that is plus. Because if the UTC midnight is an hour behind, then yeah, okay, so we need to offset that. And then target position, something in this calculation here is not good. I'm just gonna log things out. Actually, can I debug this? Can I set a breakpoint here? How do we do this? Run. Toggle line breakpoint. Command and F8. And then run in debug. This will be interesting. I've never used the debugger in Android Studio before, so hopefully it's good. So here we are, we've stopped at our breakpoint and seconds elapsed is nowhere to be seen because we haven't ran that line of code yet. So how do we step forward? Resume. Step into, step over. So now we have seconds elapsed. And that's 61,085 seconds that have elapsed today. So if I do 61,085 and then I divide that by is it divide? By 3600. Then that gives us 16 hours. Almost 17. So that's an hour off. So this offset seconds, which is set to 0. Ah! When I wiped this thing, yeah, look at the time. This is the second time I have done this. When I wiped this phone, it's reset the time zone on the phone to UTC. So if you look right there, 4:59. Idiot. I've just wasted an absurd amount of time on a wild goose chase there. That was good, wasn't it? So where are we? It's going to be system preferences, I think. System. Date and time, automatic date and time. We're going to turn automatic time zone off and set the time zone to London, if I can find it. There we are. Use 24-hour format. Great. 18 we're at now. So let's stop debugging, and hopefully it will not only jump us to the right place, 1800, there we go. Everything else will also work, and it seems to have. Get rid of that. Okay, thanks Debugger, that is really useful, and I'll definitely use it again. Can I remove this breakpoint? Is it Command and F8, was it? Command F8? No, Command FN and F8, there we go. Okay, so where else were we? We were in the adapter here, and this calculation seemed to work fine as well, so I think we're all good. And I can remove that comment. And we're just going to check that it doesn't put that highlight on 1800 tomorrow. Yeah, it's good. I mean, there's no reason it should do with the way we calculated it, but that's nice. Quite happy with that. So, to do. Current hour highlighted. Done. Second thing that I wanted to get sorted today was we don't return to the page that we created a slot for. And that is an issue. After we create, say I created a new task tomorrow for 9 o'clock, go for a walk, create, no goal, then it jumps me straight back to today here. So how do I communicate back? That would be the goal activity, right? And it wasn't the goal activity, I think it was the goal adapter. It's this on-click here, this intent start activity there. I think we can inform it by adding something to the intent. Unless there's some kind of resume activity. No, I guess not. So I guess what we have to do is pass back I think we have to put extras in here. So it'd be something like intent dot put extra, and then like timestamp, and then timestamp. And then when we go back to the planner activity, then how do we get the intent? That was in goal activity, wasn't it? So intent.getIn extra timestamp. If that is there, then we can do something different. So planner activity, there you are. Setting the adapter and everything up there. Check for a timestamp in the intent that started this activity. So it'll be this. Can we then do what if that returns null? Target timestamp. Yeah, let's try this. We'll do intent. How do we get the intent? Where is it? Goal activity. Where are you? Intent. Get intent. All right. Intent. get intent equals get intent. And then, what is it? This one? No. This one? No. Can't remember how you, I don't know how I've forgotten this because I did it so much. Is it like this? No. There's a hotkey that allows me to just pull this in, and I've completely forgotten it. And it was taught to me by this here, and I can't remember how to do it. Wasn't in here, it was like here or something. Alt and enter. Or option and enter if you're on a Mac. Import class. Right. I guess it was there all along. So that should give us that. But what happens if get int extra isn't there? So let's have a look at get int extra. That's the one we're looking at. And returns int the value of an item previously added with put extra, or default value if none was found. Well, what is the default value? Ah, okay. Default value is 0. Right there. Right in front of my eyes. So then we can do something like if target timestamp equals 0, then we don't do anything, I guess, so it's not equal to 0. Then we've informed it that we want to set the current item here to not the start position. Where is this start position? On a page adapter. Start position is 30. So we're informing it that we always want to start at today. So we need to actually figure out what the start position is then within that day span. Things are getting kind of complex, guys, aren't they? I mean, we could either work it out ourselves in here, or we could allow the planner pager adapter to do it. But what we essentially need to do is figure out which position our target day lies in. So first thing we need to do is get the top of the day for it. So we do target timestamp minus equals, and then target timestamp modulo 86,400. So even if it's halfway through that day, that'll jump us to the right day, but we want to jump to the right hour as well. So maybe what I need to do is target day int equals target timestamp minus target timestamp there. Okay, so that gives it the target day. So that allows us to do this with the target position. So the start position is always today, but so what we need to do is we need to get if the start position is today, how far away from today is the target day? All this date stuff gets really complicated, doesn't it? So target day, how far away is that from today? And then we can do start position plus or minus however many days we are away. So target day, do we need today again? That gives us UTC. So all we need is a diff. So it doesn't matter whether this is in UTC or not. So if we do that there, and then we do int today day, well, just today is system.get yeah, I'm doing the same code all the time. So we've got top of day local, and we could do in here, we could actually pass in a timestamp, right? And that could default to null. Do we have default parameters? How do we do default parameters in Java? No, the structure you found is how Java handles it. That is with overloading instead of default parameters. Ah, okay. Okay. Overloading, great. So overload this. Int timestamp. Then we get the default time zone. Don't need to do all that. All we need to do is return. Let's see what I actually want to do here and then start writing this function, I think. Where were we? It's so important not to get derailed or to lose your train of thought when you're programming, but it happens to me all the time. I get so scatterbrained, especially after multiple coffees and on a Friday afternoon. Here we go. So what we want is the diff between the current day and the target day. And that target timestamp, by running this on it, we are getting UTC, right? Yes, we're getting UTC from that. So if we do int now equals system dot get, it's not get, it's just millis, current time millis divided by 1000 long int, whoa tiger, and we do now minus equals now modulo 86,400. Then that gives us the day, and then if we do int diff equals, and we'll do target day, and this might be the wrong way around, minus now. What's that going to give us? If it was tomorrow, and we did tomorrow, say that was like 31 minus today, which is 30, then we'd be left with 1, which is right, so we'd be 1 day in front. So start plus start pos plus diff, and that should hopefully jump us to the right day. I guess we'll find out. So if I add something to, whoa, what the hell happened there? Something not right. If I jump to Sunday at 8:30, go for a walk, no goal, does not jump us back to there. And also we have a new bug. This is happening. Did we even trigger this code? You know, I'm getting more and more inclined to actually use the debugger for this stuff. So let's run this in debug. Jump forward 2 days to 9 o'clock this time. Go for a walk. No goal. It stopped us. We are here. Debugger. And then we will step, oh, it's not stopped us, has it? So did we not reach that breakpoint? It hasn't paused us. So I guess we didn't trigger that. So let's, did we just put TS there? I don't think we did. Goal activity. No, goal adapter, wasn't it? There, timestamp, timestamp. Okay. So we'll go back to planner activity. We'll set a breakpoint here, which would be function option F8, was it? No. Function command F8, there we go. Hopefully we will trigger on this one. What the hell happened here? Debug. Okay, so here we've triggered, right? And we can step over this line to the next one, and we can see that the target timestamp is 0, which is good because it's the first run. So we're gonna resume on. There we go, and then we'll go to tomorrow 8 AM, go for a walk, no goal, and now we are back, and we can see that there is something in the intent. What's in there? Action, clip data, component. Doesn't seem to be any data in it. So if we step over this line, get to here, see the target timestamp is still null. So that intent is empty. Where's our goal adapter? There. So this intent is empty. Name and value. Start activity intent. But there is something in the intent, isn't there? Can we see where it came from? Doesn't seem to be a lot of stuff in here. Strange. Let's set another breakpoint. Let's do one here. So command function F8, and we'll rerun the app. We're okay with that one. We'll resume. And then I'm going to set something at, whoa. I'm going to do something at, resume. 7:30 tomorrow. Go for a walk. No goal. Ah, hang on. We selected no goal, which is something on the goal activity. So of course it's not going to get added because it's in here, look. No goal. So we need to do the same thing here. We need to intent dot put extra timestamp timestamp. Okay, so how do I get rid of all my breakpoints? View breakpoints. That one, and that one. You know what? Actually, I want to keep that one. Yeah, done. And then rerun. I expected what, where? Ah. Okay, so that one stopped, that's fine. The intent should be empty, hopefully. So let's just step over that. Yeah, target timestamp ignore, yep. Okay, so where are we now? It stopped at the end of what? On create. So let's resume the program. Jump to 8:30 tomorrow. Go for a walk, no goal. And here we are back again, and this time hopefully this intent should have something in it. Step over. Target timestamp, there we go, we actually have one. There. Step over. We got that. Step over. Now. Target day. Diff. And what is the diff? The diff is 86,400. That is in seconds. And we want it to be in days. So we're going to have to do divided by 86,400 and then rerun it. And I want to get rid of this breakpoint now, so how do I do that? What's this one do? View breakpoints, mute breakpoints. Close. Cancel. Function command F8. It'd be nice if we had a way of, what's this? Is this a breakpoint or not? If I had a way of just getting rid of all the breakpoints. Echo stop. Okay, so that's that. We're going to rerun this application now, and hopefully we'll jump back to the correct day. Cancel. Debug. Okay, so tomorrow we've pretty much whited out everything, and I'd like to sort that bug out before we go, but we're going to do Sunday at 8. Go for a walk, no goal. We're in here, and we can step through all of this and make sure that the diff is 1 when we get to here. The diff is 2, that's correct, because we jump forward to Sunday. So hopefully, if I resume this, it jumps us back to Sunday. So that is 1 step closer to where we want to be. Question now is, why the hell are these strings empty? Like, what did we screw up? We screwed something up, didn't we? Let's get rid of that. Tidy this up. Now we know we are at the right day, so we're going to add a to-do in here. Inform the rec view somehow that we want to jump to a certain hour. So that's going to be the next big thing. And I've got a feeling that that's going to be tricky. But first I want to fix this bug. I don't like ending the week on a bug. I'm going to jump back to the recycle view and hope that we just did something silly. Planner, rec adapter. What I changed in here. Can I do a diff? VCS, git, show history, no. Branches, tag, stash, unstash. All I want to see is my changes. Compare with head revision. There we go. So we can see that we've added this, which is to do with the background color. It's got nothing to do with anything else. We got rid of that to do and replaced it with something else. Midnight TS, that's fine. Nothing really that should have changed the way our text is rendered. To be sure, we will comment it out. What could have changed that? Did we have anything in the log? Recycle view, no adapter attached, skipping layout. We only see that once though. Strange. I mean, we didn't change anything in here, did we? Get in equals current timestamp. We didn't change current timestamp. Did we? So I guess let's use our trusty debugger again and jump in here and see what happened. Why can't I do that now? Option F8, there we go. Run in debug. Do we have something? Let's see, we have holder, position, current item. Current item has a label, 7:30, has a timestamp. We can step over this and look at this. Holder, view holder, position, no parent. Can we look at can we step in? Column index 2. Step in, step over. That returns what then? Column index 2. And pause, get string. Step into. Over, over, over. What does it return? Where is the return value? Okay, so I guess we'll step over it. Where are we right now? Task name. Go away. Step over then. Holder. Task name. Does it have text? Go for a walk. It is there. Oh, of course. The text is white. Isn't it? Yeah, I see now. I see what the problem is. Yeah, this is the problem, this else statement. So this is current half hour thing. That actually needs to be inside every single one of these. Which is a pain, but... if else... So all we're doing is setting the background color if... yeah, we're just setting a different background color if it's today, right? So let's do... where do we set the background color? There. So the else for that is that. And the else for that is this one. Okay, hopefully that is fixed. And we have gone over the end of the stream, guys. So if you have any questions about today's episode, bang them in the chat now. I'll do my best to answer them as well as I can. Looks like we are back. Yes, go for a walk. Look at that. That's a long ass walk, right? And if we add something to Monday, hopefully it will jump us back to Monday. Great. And I also want to try doing that with a new goal. So get massive legs. Jumped us back to today. So that one didn't work. That is a bug. Yeah. So next time we have a bug, if we create a new goal, then it doesn't jump us back to the right day. We don't return to the page we created the slot for. That is okay now. And also next time I would like to jump us to the slot that we just created. This is good. It's very good. Yes, DFB, get rid of that. Nice. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm actually going to install this app on my phone and try and use it on a day-to-day basis. I think it'll give me some good ideas for features. So everyone, if you missed any of today's stream, or you've missed any of the previous streams, or you're brand new to the channel and you're thinking, God, I'd like to go back and watch the other 20 hours of this show, there is a YouTube channel here. If you do a search with Coding with Carl, you'll find it. And in the 0 to Android playlist, you can see all the back episodes of this show. And I recommend watching them at double speed because things can get a bit slow, and it's pretty cool watching someone speed code, if you like. Got no questions in the chat, so I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for joining me today on this journey. I might be back on Sunday, but as normal streaming time for me is weeknights at 7:30 UK time. So feel free to subscribe, drop me a like on YouTube or any of that good stuff. Otherwise, guys, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Good night. Bye.